Hello, hello, hello. This is Tiffany with Healthy Passions, and I wanted to take a moment to do our new study guide for the week. We went through the 613 commandments. That took a while, but this one's not going to be as long, but it's a good one. It's more lighthearted, so I'm very excited that the Most High allowed me to do a more lighthearted topic, and basically this is for Hebrew marriage scriptures for those called to marriage. As you know, with Healthy Passions, I am a certified personal trainer, certified wellness coach, certified energy healer by birth. I am an oracle prophetess and a natural healer. So in my business, what I do, of course, is I do personal training, fitness. I also do I work with Hebrew singles. And a lot of these singles are called to marriage. Not all, but a lot of them are called to marriage. And so he wanted me to kind of take a moment to build a foundation on marriage with these singles and basically like, hey, this is the criteria to build the foundation, start seeking understanding in marriage before you even think about getting married to a person. And basically this is stuff to do and consider, learn and know and obtain while you are single, right? So this is a good study guide. Um, you don't have to be a Hebrew to follow this because God created marriage, and marriages are universal. They're within all nations, but the concept of marriage, the creation of marriage, is of God. So these rules will still apply with people that are not necessarily Hebrew or Christian or um, you know, biblically based people. These principles still stand because marriage is um, a creation of the Most High Yah, who the world calls God. So before we get into the lesson, I want you to kind of take this as advice. Number one, this is due to experience, the experiences of others, what I've learned over the years, things like that. So the advice that I want to give when you go into this, especially if you feel like you are called to marriage, the first thing is to go to the Most High and to have Him confirm that to you in more than one way that you are called to marriage. But anything past that, this is the advice that I've learned over the years. Number one, know what season Yah has you in. Okay? Know the season that Yah has you in. And don't try to force Yah's hand in the area of love, romantic relationships, and marriage. I did this before when I was younger. Yah had me in the season of building my business, but I wanted to focus on love and relationships and marriage. So it was a huge delay, a conflict of interest, and a total distraction, right? So I've learned over the years to go with the flow in the area that the Most High has you in. Because what you don't realize on the outside looking in is that the Most High is developing you. So He's giving you skills, knowledge, abilities, whatever the case may be, to build you up into the person that you're becoming. So you can't skip steps, you can't skip seasons, you can't skip lessons. You have to be in tune with where the Most High has you at. So don't try to skip seasons. And that can be any season. You could be in any other season, but if you're focusing on love and relationships and you're in a different season, it's not going to work out. You're just going to end up frustrated, heartbroken, or whatever the case may be. You won't, the Most High won't budge because He knows what you need versus what you want, right? Number two, do not make marriage your idol. This is a big one, especially for the ladies. I don't know too many men that do this. I'm pretty sure there are men out there like that, but in my experience, this is mostly women. We are in this society, we are pretty much born, and the only thing they teach us is to become a wife, and you're nobody until you marry a man. That's how you obtain your status, right? So our whole life is being trained to be a wife or to be ready for a man. And we are so much more than that. The Most High does not require that we only learn that. Yes, those are things that everyone should learn. Every woman should learn how to be a wife. Every man should learn how to be a husband. However, it's not the ultimate goal, right? So don't make it your idol to where that's all you think about. That's all you dream about. All you watch all these princess movies when you were a little girl and you think that love should be like the movies and things like that. No, that is not what the Most High has for his princesses. Um, we are actually well rounded. So if he calls you to be a wife, you are already born a wife, and you learn the skills and what it takes to be a wife along the way with life experiences. But you also have what we call a calling. You have a purpose and a mission. So marriage is not your ultimate goal. It is one of the goals to meet, but it's not your ultimate goal. You're not just here to be just a mother and a wife. That is ridiculous. Uh, there's so many women that are so intelligent and so smart that they waste away in marriages because their husband won't let them shine, or they feel like they can't live out their purpose because of marriage, being the ultimate goal in society. And that's just not what the Most High has for us. We are able to do multiple things, right? So just like a man, he's able to be a husband, he's able to be a father, and still do his mission, right? Or to do his job, or his whatever he's called to do. The woman is the same. We are different, yes, but we are here to still do pretty much the same thing. The blessing in Genesis was given to the woman and the man to be fruitful and multiply and subdue the land and things like that. We were both given the same purpose and mission on that note. So don't let men tell you that what you only good for. That is the oppression of women, and the Most High is not about the oppression of women. I think society and religion has really did a number on women and disserviced us in that way, to where we idolize marriage because we are not even acknowledged unless, or have a status unless we have a man attached to it. The first thing they say is to you, like if you're single, the first thing they say is you can't even get a man, or you can't even keep a man. No, don't worry about that. That's not what life is about. It'll come in due season. It may not be your season to have a man. So for them to persecute you for not having a man and it's not your season, they're going against God's will. So you gotta be very careful what you listen to, and also be very careful in what you idolize, right? Anything can become an idol, but I noticed that marriage is a huge idol for especially the women. Number three, trust that Yah knows the desires of your heart, and as a good father, he shall give you good gifts as long as it is within his will for your life. I'm going to read that again. This is for everybody. Trust that Yah knows the desires of your heart, and as a good father, he shall give you good gifts as long as it is within is the key word, his will for your life. Sometimes people desire something. Since we're talking about marriage, let's say marriage. Sometimes people desire marriage, but they're called to be single. They're not called to marriage. The Most High won't give you that if it's not within the will for your life, within His will for your life. That goes with anything. There's certain things that you cannot. I mean, you can use your free will and try to go for it, but then you'll be outside of God's will for your life, and you'll have a lot of obstacles in reference to that. But sometimes, if the answer to marriage is no, it may be hard to accept because some people really want that. At least they think that's what they want, right? But if you are called to live out your days single and he has you doing another great work, um, then you won't get it. Okay, so I mean, you can grieve over it, you can be upset over it, or you can even put yourself using free will into a non-God ordained marriage, and you will have grief from it for sure. because you're outside of God's will for your life. So you have to understand sometimes no just means no, even if it's something you really desire, right? Number four, do not go from person to person searching for the one. Yah will show him or her to you clearly. You are just creating demonic soul ties, allowing others that possess demons to attach to you in your life and causing unnecessary trauma and heartbreak, thus delaying your God ordained partner, leaving you used up, emotionally damaged, and broken. Yah will protect the God ordained spouse that is within his will. If you are out here just willy nilly dating other people and you have a God ordained spouse and you are called to marriage, he will withhold that person from you because you will cause them nothing but harm at that point until you repent, get yourself together, get your act together, and heal from that emotional damage and brokenness. He will hold your spouse apart. So you're only delaying what you say you want by doing that. So the best bet is to not date and just stay within the seasons that the Most High has you in, and that is the quickest route to what you want. Number five, I want you to use this study guide as just a foundational study. This is a foundational study because I think the Most High is really focusing on the foundations, like going back to the very beginning, the foundations of His Word. So use this as a foundational study on the topic of marriage. Let Yah make you the husband or wife you are called to be, if that is what you're called to do. Also, really quick, these are some words that I want you to keep in mind because I am going to use the Hallelujah Bible, which is one of the closest, best Bibles you can get. It's called the Hallelujah Scriptures. It is mainly in English, but it has the Hebrew words and meanings as well in it. So you can get the name of the English name for it and then the Hebrew name for the prophets and the scriptures and things like that. So we'll use some words. So I'm going to give you those words really quick, and the ones that I have down so far. So when you come across it, because I'm going to use the scripture because this is the Bible he wanted me to use. He didn't want me to use any Bible that has been altered too much. He wants me to use the one that's closest to the Hebrew translation, and this Bible is it. So the words that I'm going to give you, kind of write them down. Just keep those in mind because they will be within the scriptures. The first one is Nabua. Now, I may not pronounce this right because I don't speak Hebrew, but I will spell it. N as in Nancy, E, B as in boy, U, A, H. That is a translation for prophecy. All right. Ruah, Ruah. That is spirit. Shamayim, S as in Sam, Hamayim. That's heaven or heavens. I want to say Baruch, Baruk means blessed in past tense. Blessed in past tense. Blessed. All right. The next one would be Barak. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but I'll spell it Barak, which is just another translation or tense of the word. But this one can mean blessed, blessed, or blessed. Okay, so it's a different tense of that same word. All right, so I think we're good on that. Let's go to the first couple of scriptures. Now, the Most High has me doing this on my Shabbat study. He has me studying in my personal studies, marriage, uh, but he wanted me to share what I had come across with you guys. So, number one would be Proverbs 31, verses 11 through 12. Proverbs 31, verses 11 through 12. I'm going to give you what the translation is from this Bible. Uh, the heart of her husband shall trust her. She shall do him good and not evil. So the heart of her husband shall trust her. Verse 12. She shall do him good and not evil. Number two, Titus 2, chapter 2, verses 4 through 5. Titus chapter 2, verses 4 through 5. In order for them to train the young woman to love their husbands, comma, to love their children, comma, going into 5, to be sensible, comma, blameless, comma, workers at home, comma, subject to their own husbands, comma, in order that the word of Yah is not evil spoken of. I'm going to read it again without all the punctuation. In order for them to train the young women to love their husbands, to love their children. Number 5, to be sensible, blameless, workers at home, subject to their own husbands, in order that the word of Yah is not evil spoken of. I studied through this Bible. I really love the way the verses are put in this Bible. It's really plain, not complicated, and it gets closer to the real translation of what the scriptures were meant to be. I just love the way it is. This is the study Bible that I use. Number 3, Titus 2, verses 6 through 8. Titus 2, verses 6 through 8. This is for the men. Likewise, urge the young man to be sensible. 7. Show yourself an example of good works in all, period. In teaching uncorruptness, comma, seriousness, comma, number 8, soundness of speech beyond reproach, comma, in order that the opponent is put to shame, comma, having no evil to speak about you. Okay, let me fix that. I had to type these up because I wanted to give these to my clients. I had to type these up before I came on here for you guys because I wanted to make sure that my clients had a copy of this. All right, so I'm going to read that again without the punctuation. So Titus 2, verses 6 through 8. Likewise, urge the young man to be sensible. 7. Show yourself an example of good works in all. In teaching uncorruptness, seriousness, number 8, soundness of speech beyond reproach, in order that the opponent is put to shame, having no evil to speak about you. I do apologize. My son is on his game. It's his relaxation time. So if you hear him, that's him trying to just be, I guess, with his friends. So hopefully you don't hear him, but we'll see. All right. So number 4 is Timothy. Number 4 is 1 Timothy 3. And this one's going to be verses 1 through 16. All right. 1 through 16. I think I'm going to end it here because I want the videos to be just under 25 minutes or 20 minutes. So we're going to do this one and I'll leave those 3 for you to meditate on. Okay. 1 Timothy chapter 3, the whole chapter. All right, let's start with 1. Trustworthy is the word. If a man longs for the position of an overseer, he desires a good work. 2. An overseer then should be blameless, the husband of one wife, sober, sensible, orderly, kind to strangers, able to teach. Number 3, not given to wine, no broiler. I can't pronounce it. Brawler, not a fighter, not quick to fight. Okay. Brawler. All right. Comma, but gentle, not quarrelsome, not covetous. Number 4, one who rules his own house well, having his children in subjection with all reverence. I believe that was reverence. Let me check that. Give me a second. I tried to do some of this last night late before bed because I wanted to save time. So I think I need to correct that. So I'm going to start back with number 4. One who rules over his house will, having his children in subjection with all reverence. He should even have a good witness from those who are reverence. Okay, I'm going to check that. Give me a second. I might have to come back and correct that. So the first one on 4, having his children in subjection with all reverend. That's going to be REV as in Victor, EREND. All right. He should even have a good witness for those who are reverence. And that's going to be REVERENCE. It may be correct. I'm just going to check it later and I will correct it in the next video if I have to. Number 5. For if a man does not know how to rule his own house, he shall if a man does not know how to rule his own house, how shall he look after the assembly of Elohim? Question mark. Number 6. Not a new convert, comma, lest he become puffed up with pride and fall into the judgment of the devil. Number 7. And he should even have a good witness from those who are outside, lest he all into unless he fall into reproach. Give me a second. So number 7, and he should even have a good witness from those who are outside, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Number 8, likewise, attendants are to be reverent, comma, not double-tongued, comma, not given to much wine, not greedy for filthy gain. Number 9, holding to the secret of the belief with a clean conscience. Number 10, and let these also be proved first. Then let them serve if they are unreprovable. Number 11, wives, in the same way, reverent, not false accusers, sober, trustworthy in every way. Number 12, let attendants be the husbands of one wife, comma, ruling children in their households as well. Number 13, for those who have served well as attendants gain good standing for themselves, comma, and much boldness in the belief that is in Messiah Yahawashai, who the world calls Jesus. 14, I am writing you this, comma, expecting to come to you shortly. 15, but if I delay, that you might know how you should behave in the house of Elohim, which is the assembly of the living Elohim, dash, a support and foundation of the truth. 16, and beyond all question, the secret of reverence is great, dash, who was revealed in the flesh, comma, declared right in the ruach, that's the word for spirit, RUAH. So declared right in the ruach, comma, was seen by messengers, comma, was proclaimed among nations, was believed in the world, was taken up in esteem. Now I'm going to read that just again because I made a lot of mistakes in the typing and that I had to correct along the way. So I'm going to read it again. I'm just going to kind of name the number of the verse that we're in. All right, so we're going to start with First Timothy chapter 3, the whole verse. So we're starting with verse 1. Trustworthy in the word, if a man longs for a position of an overseer, he desires a good work. 2, an overseer then should be blameless, the husband of one wife, sober, sensible, orderly, kind to strangers, able to teach. Number 3, not given to wine, no broiler, but gentle, not quarrelsome, not covetous. Number 4, one who rules his own house well, having his children in subjection with all reverence. He should even have a good witness from those who are reverenced. Number 5, for if a man does not know how to rule his own house, how shall he look after the assembly of Elohim? Question mark. Number 6, not a new convert, lest he become puffed up with pride and fall into the judgment of the devil. 7, and he should even have a good witness from those who are outside, lest he fall into the reproach in the snare of the devil. 8, likewise, attendants are to be reverent, not double tongued, not given to much wine, not greedy for filthy gain. 9, holding to the secret of the belief with a clean conscience. 10, and let these also be proved first, comma, then let them serve, if they are unreprovable. Number 11, wives in the same way, reverent, not false accusers, sober, trustworthy in every way. 12, let attendants be the husbands of one wife, ruling children in their households well. 13, for those who have served well as attendants gain good standing for themselves and much boldness in the belief that is in Messiah Yahawashai. In Messiah Yahawashai, right? That would be the true name of Christ, Jesus. So we're going to use his real name here. Number 14, I am writing this, I'm writing you this, expecting to come to you shortly. But if I delay, that you might know how you should behave in the house of Elohim, which is the assembly of the living Elohim, a support and foundation of truth. 16, and beyond all question, the secret of reverence is great, who was revealed in the flesh, declared right in the Ruah, was seen by messengers, was proclaimed among the nations who believed on it. uh, Proclaimed among the nations, was believed on in the world, was taken up in esteem. Now, this one says a lot. So, we're going to just go over the verses that we did today really quick. Um, Number one, the Proverbs 1, that the heart of her husband shall trust her. She shall do him good and not evil. So, men, you should be able to trust your wife with all things. She should be a good character, not just with you, but with others. She should have good quality that are fruits of the spirit. That's a good start. Okay, women, we are to behave ourselves. When we are married, we are to be faithful, loving, and more than that, we are to display the good character that the Most High calls for. And the fruits of that will be shown in the fruits of the Spirit, right? And we are not to cause any harm to our husbands, all right? If we do, we will have to answer to the Most High for that. Those are His sons. He loves them just as much as He loves us. All right, number 2, Titus 2 4 through 5. In order for them to train the young women to love their husbands, to love their children, to be sensible, blameless workers at home, subject to their own husbands, in order that the word of Yah is not evil spoken of. This is saying a lot. So, Titus 2 talks about how the older women are supposed to train the younger women on how to be wives. We lack a lot of that in the world today, and it has been lost in translation really bad. So nobody really knows what a good wife is. Nobody really knows what a good husband is, or if they do know, they just act kind of crazy, right? Um, so the women who have good marriages, godly marriages, should be an example. They should be actually having workshops, literally teaching young women, how to do this. So this is not something that is always innately known to a woman, right? So it's not necessarily natural, and it could be natural, but it also still needs to be taught, right? These are things that need to be taught. We have to be taught to love our husbands. That is not something that we're just born knowing how to do. We have to be taught knowing how to love and raise our children, to raise them properly in the way that they should go. Also, how to deal with them emotionally, right? How to deal with them psychologically to where we don't cause them harm versus good, right? um, you don't want to embarrass your family or your husband. You want to be blameless, sensible. You want to be smart, right? You want to not be talking out loud, talking crazy, looking all crazy in these streets. You want to be workers at home. Now, here, yes, the man works in the home as well. However, the woman does most of that. Usually it just naturally falls that way, but however, yes. So she is the CEO of home. That does not mean that the husband works her to death, the children work her to death. No, she's the seer. She is the worker at home. Yes, she's like the CEO. So she delegates assignments when the children are old enough. I say two, three, they're old enough to pick up their toys and do things like that. She gives them those jobs that are age appropriate. Her husband usually is focused on working, and that's fine. However, he does do things in the house. She delegates work to him. If he's good at washing dishes, great, she cooks. If he's good at cooking, she washes dishes. So she kind of delegates that. So it's not like a slave sentence to a woman. It is more or less that's what she's built to do, and she's good at it. However, that doesn't mean work her to death, right? So if a man loves his wife, he will help her. All right, Titus 2, this is for the men. Now, the men who have godly marriages, that have been married for a while, they should be also teaching the young men in the same way, workshops, everything. We should be training our children. So the men, they have to live by a good example in all things, like not just okay, I do this on the weekend because I go to church on the weekend, this and this, and I'm good. No, you're good in life, you're good at work, you're good at home, you're a good example in every area. Um, you're teaching uncorruptness, you're teaching our young men not to go out there and be sinful. You're teaching them to be serious about life and their families and themselves, right? You're teaching them the soundness of speech beyond reproach. So you're teaching them how not to lie. You're teaching them how to be a man of their word and how word is their bond, right? You're teaching them how to teach the Torah, how to teach others. You're teaching them a lot of things. So whereas if someone of the world was to come and challenge them, by them living by example, ex, exhibiting fruits of the spirit and being correct in their speech and example, nothing bad can be spoke of them, right? We're teaching them to be honorable men. Now, First Timothy 3 1 through 16. I think I'm just going to do a video on that one, probably all by itself. But this says a lot. Just to kind of give a rundown, just in case, I don't know if the Most High wants me to do a whole video, but I can break it down really quick. Okay, so the first part is talking to a man who wants to be in a overseer position, whether he wants to be a bishop, whether he wants to be an apostle, whether he wants to be a pastor, whatever the case may be. If he wants that job, there is order to things. He doesn't just get it because he's the son of somebody. He doesn't just get it because he paid for the position or the church desires him but he wasn't ordained to do so, things like that. There's order in all things, and the Most High is the God of order. He does not do chaos well. So if he desires to do that work, most likely he probably has a calling for it. If he does have a calling for it, he doesn't just jump into it. He has to live by example, display the fruits of the spirit at work, home, in his personal life, as well as his congregational life. Uh, he has to have one wife, so he can't have multiple wives. He has to be sober, so he can't be drinking a lot. He can't be doing drugs and all those type of things. He needs to be sensible, which is smart as well, orderly, following commandments, and decent in his behavior, kind to strangers. Okay, so a lot of men are not necessarily nice, but if you are a man in the Most High, you're kind. You're not nice, like as in ignorant and stupid and letting people play you, but you're kind to others. All right. So you can't just be out here acting all crazy mean all the time. And able to teach. So you could be desiring a position, but you don't have the skill of teaching. You would have to develop that skill. And if you don't, you might have a natural ability to teach, but you have to prove that you can teach, right? Um, so there comes that. So you can't be a drunkard. You can't be fighting and tripping and fighting other people and coveting people's things in their life, right? So also you must see, this is where your wife comes in. This is why you want to make sure you choose a good partner. Your wife comes in. The Most High gives the wife a a good position here to speak for you or in on behalf of you, right? So if you are the one who rules in your household well, like if you are a leader in the home, if you are taking care of your children, taking care of your wife, handling your responsibility, your wife is going to sing your praises. She cannot lie on this one, because a lot of times you can see how well a man's marriage is or how well his household is by the appearance of his wife. If she looks all disheveled and crazy, that usually means that their household is not running well. But if the wife looks happy, she's at peace, she has a glow about her, 9 times in 10, they probably have a good household going. So this is something that men, you want to make sure you treat your wives well so that she can speak highly of you and tell people what a blessing you are versus a curse, right? So I just kind of want to throw that out there. I almost want to do a whole another video on this, but we'll get into it another day. We're just going to try to get all of these out first. And it says also too, if you want to be in that position, you can't be a new convert, like somebody new, fresh to it, fresh out the box, and you just got saved. Once you get saved, you have to learn some things, you have to experience some things. A lot of times you'll go through immense spiritual warfare, things like that. You have to prove yourself. You can't just come up in here and be like, okay, I want to be the preacher now, stuff like that, right? So um let's see. Now, you also have to have witnesses within your home and good witnesses outside of your home. So it's just not, it's your wife can't lie and say that you're a good person and then you're really a terrible person out here doing whatever, and you don't have any other witnesses of your good character. You need to have friends, family, other people that can speak on your behalf. Now, the reason why I added that, because at first I wasn't going to put all of this, the reason why I added all of that is because women, these are qualities that your husband should also have. If before you take or consider a man, he must display these qualities. Not only display them, but for long periods of time, so that he cannot just pretend to be this way for a short period of time and then you get tricked into marrying him. No, he must be this way. Not only must he be this way, he must stay this way, right? So, because he is going into the position of overseeing of your household, right? You're putting yourself in subjection to this man in a submissive position to allow him to lead you as a woman and to lead your household. He must have these same qualities, right? So that's why I added all the extra in there, right? And we must make sure and vet these men better. We have to vet them better. I know sometimes some men can pretend to be a certain way for a long period of time and pretend and trick you, but there's always red flags. The Most High will always show us red flags. A lot of times we ignore it because we idolize marriage and we want it so bad. We look past the little red flags. No, we don't look past, we vet. Okay? And same for the husband. The wife must do the same thing. She must have these qualities, right? So we don't want to end up with the wrong partner. Also, you may meet somebody with all the qualities that they need and they are exactly like that, but that might not be your spouse. That's when you have to go to the Most High and have Him confirm, is this my spouse or not? And don't just automatically be, oh, I think He said yes just because you want that person. No, that's not how life works. It takes time. That's why I recommend that you be friends first, get to know one another as friends, and then if there is a desire there or if there's an opportunity there to possibly be a, a contender or a counterpart for you in marriage, then court, not date, court, which is going into uh, vetting that person for marriage. Right. So the next one that we're gonna do is gonna be Genesis 2:18. I'm gonna say that for the next video because I did not intend for this video to be that long. I may come back this evening and do another or do one tomorrow. The Most High just wants them out, so we're just gonna go from there. And He didn't want me to make the video too long. So I love you guys. Have a good day.